Hello everybody, my name is Jackie and welcome to Prairie Sports Talk, the podcast where we talk about sports that directly impact the Canadian Prairie. Today is either August 8th or August 9th. We'll see how quickly I get this video edited because this episode wasn't exactly planned. But we need to talk about the chaotic ending to the Ottawa Redblacks Saskatchewan Roughriders game that just happened because the command center changed this game. Let's get into it. So, because this game was such a mess at the end, I'm not really going to talk about the whole game in this update video. I want to save that for the next episode of Prairie Sports Talk on Thursday so that I have a couple days to try and get my thoughts straight on this mess of a game, to say the very least. But I feel like overtime needs to be talked about as soon as possible. In the CFL, overtime is different than in the NFL. So it's made up of two mini-games. Each mini-game has both teams having one possession that starts on the opponent's 35-yard line. If the first team scores a touchdown and the other team doesn't, the first team wins. But and the same thing goes for all points. First team gets a field goal, second team doesn't, first team wins. And then if the second team gets points after the first team didn't, second team wins. If there is no winner after the first mini-game, we go on to the second, where Team 2 now starts with the ball on the opponent's 35, and we do it again. Except Team 2 goes first, Team 1 goes second. I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained that decently. But let's get into this mess of an overtime. So, Ottawa starts, it's a pretty uneventful drive. Ottawa scores a touchdown, they mess up on the 2-point convert because you have to go for 2 in Canadian football overtime. It's not that uncommon that this kind of drive will open up overtimes in the CFL. And then the Riders get the ball, and they get to a third down situation. Shea Patterson drops back and he hits Sean Bain Jr. over the top, but Sean Bain Jr. is hit by a Redblack from behind, and it was kind of a bang-bang play. SBJ is hit just as the ball gets there. It's very close. Corey Mace challenges it, and the command center rules that it is defensive pass interference. The Riders' drive stays alive. They end up scoring on a pretty easy play to a wide open Samuel Emelis just to the left. Easy touchdown for Saskatchewan as they get the ball again to start the second minigame. Saskatchewan struggles a bit on this drive. They stall out. They have to kick a field goal. Brett Lawther makes no mistake. Saskatchewan is now up 3. And now we head into the second possession of the second minigame. And this is where things get really, really messy. So, it opens up with a big loss for the Redblacks after Dustin Crum gets sacked for over a 10-yard loss. And then on second down, he gets sacked again and fumbles the football. Saskatchewan recovers. Ottawa ends their possession with no points. Saskatchewan wins because of a field goal on their previous possession. And Saskatchewan comes out, they're celebrating, life is good. The Riders have snapped their 2-game losing skid and handed Ottawa their first loss at home this season. But hold on a minute. The command center interferes again, and they rule that the Roughriders roughed the passer. They call the Roughriders on a roughing the passer, turning what, even if the play wasn't ruled a fumble, it would have been a long 30-plus yard third down for the Redblacks, where they were way out of field goal position so they couldn't tie, so they would have had to go for it. So now, because of roughing the passer, Ottawa now has an automatic first down, 3 yards up from where the drive started, now on Saskatchewan's 32. The drive stalls out, and Ottawa kicks the game time field goal, and this game ends in a 22-22 tie. This game was over 2 times before it actually was over. The first time coming after the PI, that one, only really Ottawa seemed to think it was over because right away Corey Mace ran out with the challenge flag and got the attention of the official so that they knew the Riders were challenging. And then the second false ending on the roughing the passer, that one was quite a while. In fact, it got to the point where Dustin Crum, he was playing quarterback for the Redblacks, said he was already in the locker room and someone had to come get him and tell him, hey, they called roughing the passer. The game's still going. Get out here. The game seemed like it was over for a good 5, 6, maybe even close to 10 minutes before the command center ruled that it was roughing the passer. This is a very anticlimactic ending because you have a very high-spirited overtime between two teams that don't see each other a lot, but despite that do have a decent amount of history between at one point sharing a name in the past and recently a few years ago, Roughrider defensive lineman injuring Ottawa's quarterback to the point that he has only played 4 snaps since said injury. And these teams have a lot of history already. The Redblacks are only 10 years old. I'm not even sure if they've played the Riders 20 times yet. It's shocking that 2 teams from the East and the West can have such a deep history already. So this game was very spirited all game long. And then to have it end with the command center stepping in twice, it feels anticlimactic. Now, they had to step in because Corey Mace challenged it. But the roughing the passer call is very controversial. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I agree with the call or not. But at the end of the day, the command center didn't technically have to step in. They could have just let it be. I agree with the command center's purpose to correct missed calls on the field, but when they are stepping in just kind of randomly and deciding how games end, it really hurts the flow of the game. I'm very curious to see what you guys think about this, because this is going to be a hotly debated topic in the CFL for at least a week, probably longer for being honest. I wouldn't be shocked if it comes up in the off-season now that the command center has full-on decided the outcome of a game. But I am curious what you guys have to say. Be sure to leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below if you're on YouTube. But that is everything I have for you guys in this update. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, be sure to follow the 13th Man Podcast Network. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys have a great whatever. Stay safe, stay strong, you got this. And this is Jackie for Prairie Sports Talk, signing off.